Hey everybody, Shaman Shane here with My Shaman Says, the podcast. And my guest today is Stacy Duncan. This is an awesome person. You're going to love this. We've known each other for like a long time now. I have no idea how long.
I was trying to figure that out.
Stacy first came as a client. We've worked together on various different things. Her story is fascinating. I'm going to let her tell you all about that. But everybody, welcome Stacy Duncan. Say hi to the people.
Hello, how are you? I'm so glad to be here.
This is so cool. I'm so glad you came. I loved it because I put out a post the other day asking for people to be guests on it. And you messaged us like, would I have anything? I was like, you were on my list. You were one of the people I wanted on here because I think this is going to be an incredible exchange. So tell people a little bit about yourself, how we got to know each other. You know the bio portion that's always in there.
I was trying to think about that on the way here, how we met and when we met. I don't know if you remember, actually.
I don't.
So we met at a networking open house.
Okay.
So yes. I was in a networking group, and it was brand new. And I still see her, Dr. Nicole McCauley.
Nicole McCauley.
Love her.
Whose name just came up. We have a new chiropractor here at Sage Studio, and I was saying, do you know Nicole McCauley? So she came up twice within an hour. That's great.
She's awesome. But anyway, she brought you as a guest.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Yes, because it was a B&I group.
Yes.
And she came to me one day and we were just chatting and she said, we're supposed to invite people in and I want you to come. And I was like, why? And she goes, because I want to see you stand up and say you're a shaman to that entire group. And I was like, bet, game on.
Yeah.
You know, what I discovered through that is that it's a lot more likely that I'll refer a plumber in a reading than they'll refer a reading while they're fixing your toilet.
Really? That's funny.
I didn't get as much out of it. Yes. Okay, that's what we meant.
So what year was that? 2009? 10?
Probably.
8 maybe? No, probably 8 or 9.
Yeah.
So a long time.
Long time.
Yeah.
Long time.
Yeah.
And yet we look youthful as ever.
Exactly.
I just want to throw that in there. And so tell people what you do.
Oh my goodness.
Which is now a mixed bag, which is part of why I want you on here.
Yeah,
but tell them your main career before we get to the fun.
Okay, so been a licensed realtor since 2003. So long time.
2003?
Yeah.
And you're too modest to say it, but I will, and you're quite successful at it.
Yes.
You've done very well with that.
I've done well with it. Done some design as well. I have a lot of careers, Shane. I've done a lot of things. I don't even know if you know everything I've done.
I'm pretty sure I don't.
So in the very beginning, so I have a degree in counseling. I don't know if you knew that. So psychology counseling. So my first career, which you will find shocking, is I worked with juvenile criminals in California.
Right on. No, I love that.
I worked juvenile probation. That was my first career right out of school. So did that for
I'm sure that was challenging and rewarding.
Yeah. So did that for a while. Then bought my first house, and my realtor at the time was like, you would be great at this. And I'm like, oh, no, that's like self-employed, and like I'm used to stable and all that. So anyway, jumped in, both feet, and was successful at it.
It's a big thing when you go from a regular job that has an inbox, whether literal or not, and the job is to get it to the outbox.
Yeah.
When you become self-employed, as I know, you create the inbox, you create the flow from that, you create the outbox, and there's nobody to tell you what to do, and you realize early on that everything is a fucking make it or break it decision.
Exactly.
Everything.
Yep.
And so we went on from juvenile counselor, and we got into realtor.
Real estate, did that, and so now I'm into fitness.
Which this is why I want this. I'm so excited about this because I've been watching your social media, and I try to have a pretty significant social media presence.
Yeah,
it's the way to connect with people, and it lets them meet the personality and all of that goes behind what I do as a shaman. And I think this is you and everything, but you just went after it. You're just like, okay, I'm doing this, and here it is. So what was the motivation for developing? Tell them what your program is first.
It's called H3 Fitness, and so my primary goal is to work with women 50 and above, because that's my age group.
Absolutely.
We won't say how old I am, but that is my age group.
I'm willing to own a bracket. I fit in this bracket.
I am above 55.
Okay.
Let's say that. And I went through a lot of stuff myself, which I can tell you. I don't know if you know all that story either, but I went through a lot of stuff myself. And so, did a lot of soul searching, back in 2016. Again, working as a realtor, working my butt off, being very successful. However, was not sleeping, was not eating right, was not exercising, was not doing all the things that I knew I should be doing, living in my car, you know.
Right.
So the first incident is I had just met a new client in the office. Got in my vehicle and we were going to look at a property. And it was going north on 44 up towards Fairgrove area, or 65, sorry. And we're driving, and all of a sudden, my ears start ringing. I start seeing spots. My heart's like beating out of my chest. I'm like sweating. I'm having all these symptoms thinking I'm having a heart attack.
Uh-huh.
It was very, very, very scary.
That is very scary. Just hearing it's scary.
Yeah. So I called my husband because I wanted him to know what was happening and where I was. And he's like, "What are you doing? You need to pull off the road, like right now." And I'm like, "I can't, babe. There's people people I've never, like brand new clients in the car behind me. They're following me. I can't just pull off the road." He's like, "You have to."
Right.
And I'm like, "Nope, just going to keep going. I'll be fine. Just keep me on the phone. Talk to me, make sure I don't pass out while I'm driving." And I'm breathing and doing all the things.
Let's just put him in a position while we're at this, shall we?
Yeah.
You know, you're not even here. Your responsibility is keeping me conscious.
Exactly. So anyway, I get to the showing. I don't know how I made it through. Honestly, I don't remember the showing. I mean, I was so out of it.
Full autopilot at that point.
I think they probably knew something was up. But anyway, that was my scary, scary experience. And basically my husband had to come pick me up because I could not drive back home. And he was like, "We're going to the emergency room." And I'm like, "I'm fine." He's like, "You are not fine.
Right.
We are going to the emergency room."
I don't think you know what that word means. Yeah.
And so, yeah, we went, he made me go to the emergency room. And anyway, got there and I did not have a heart attack, thank God. But it was a very eye-opening experience.
I had a situation once where I went to the ER, and for people who don't know, if you say chest or heart,
Oh, yeah.
there are suddenly 20 people with hands on you.
Absolutely.
Like, it is crazy. I mean, it needs to be that way, but it's almost a traumatic experience receiving the treatment.
Yeah. They got me back immediately, and they were like, "You are so dehydrated. I don't know when was the last time you ate?" And I was like, "Well, I had some coffee this morning, and I don't know, some
And they're like,
cheese
that
crackers or
that
something."
doesn't count. That doesn't count on either version.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I was living, you know. So anyway, that was a big eye-opening experience for me. However, I did not stop
Right.
and continue to do what I always did
Right.
because I was fine,
Sure.
you know. So then
It was a one-off isolated thing.
exactly. And so about 6 months later, now mind you, I was at the top of my career, so I was working like 50, 60 hours a week, you know. Basically had a meltdown. I don't even know what it was, honestly.
Sure.
It was one of those things where I just was like in a ball on the floor crying, like, I don't know, you know.
One of my best friends would refer to that as a full ass come apart.
Yes, absolutely. That's what it was. That's what it was. And James is like, my husband, "What is wrong with you?" And I'm like, "I don't know." I mean, I didn't know. I was just
Right.
bawling. So anyway, that was kind of where I was like, I got to get my shit together, right? Like, I am in danger here. Like, this is
Right.
life slapping me upside the head, so I better do something about it. So anyway, that was kind of...
Yeah, you got 2 strikes. The third one's not going to be pretty.
Exactly. That was my eye-opening moment.
And so that
basically.
led to the formulation of H3. Now, is that a program that you schooled for, or is this your own creation?
So the program is my own creation. H3 is my own creation. And everything I'm doing with it is stuff that I've taught myself about life habits and how to take care of myself and how to implement that in my daily life, because I'm not going to stop doing what I always do.
I totally relate to that, because I tell my clients all the time, they're like, why do you offer this service, or why are you so into this sort of a thing, or whatever. I'm like, oh, these are the things that save me from myself.
Yeah.
That's why I'm offering them, because I know they work, because I wouldn't be here if I didn't do these things.
Yeah. So you can relate.
Totally.
So that's
100%.
So that's where it came out of. But after my little incident, my 2 incidences, I started studying about daily habits. I started studying about mindset. I started studying about what can I do to take care of myself and protect myself and make sure that I grow old, and that I'm going to grow old gracefully and
Right.
not end up in the hospital or with some major disease or something. So I love to read to learn. I don't read for fun,
Right?
but I read to learn. And so I just all in started reading about all that stuff. And then I started teaching some workshops to women, and then COVID hit. And so I couldn't do that anymore. I couldn't do the in-person stuff. And I'm not an online person. I am a face-to-face person. That's
Right.
what I enjoy. So then I ended
Not
up...
anymore.
Yeah, I know. So then I ended up doing training for H3. So I am a certified personal trainer. I am a certified nutrition coach. And I am a certified behavior change specialist. So
Is that where H3 comes through? Is that health 3 aspects?
Healthy, happy habits.
Okay. Healthy, happy habits. Love
Yeah.
it.
So I'm bringing all that together, because healthy nutrition and fitness, happy is your mindset, and habits is your daily habits that you do. That
And if
are
you
going to
and
keep
if you
healthy.
don't embrace all of those things, you are not embracing the whole person, and that's the deal.
Absolutely.
That's the deal.
That is why, yes, I believe that in order to be healthy, you need all of those things.
Absolutely. I remember, you'll notice in this podcast, I jump off of stories and stuff all the time. When Mom, you know my mother.
Absolutely.
She's
Love her.
amazing woman.
Yes.
Thinks the world of you. When she went through her cancer, she was going through chemotherapy. And of course, everybody's like, you're a shaman. Why? Well, because we were trying to keep her alive.
Right.
You know, I don't think that chemo is evil. I have a lot of opinions about Western medicine and big pharma and all of that, but it saved my mother's life. And when she was going through it, if anybody's ever been the support person for somebody going through chemo, you're up there with this thing stuck in your arm, making you feel like you're dying right then for the sake of trying to save your life, in a room full of people that are feeling the exact same way. I put on a floor show every day. It was, singing and jokes and carrying on, and, made the biggest production in the world about what we were having for lunch that day and all that, because you cannot heal the body when the mind and the emotions are in the gutter. You just can't.
Yep.
You have to embrace
I
the whole
agree.
thing.
I totally agree.
And so you got into this out of necessity, in one way of looking at it.
Yes.
You save your own self.
Yes.
And I think that you'll relate to what I've said for years. I went to yoga teacher training 17 years ago at 43 years old. And I decided, after going through it, I was doing it purely selfishly. I want to get fit. I want to get into yoga. I'd never been fit my entire life. I want to do this. And then I was like, well, I can't possibly keep this to myself. This is giving me back to me. This is giving me a new version of me that I never had. I can't keep this to myself. I've got to offer this to other people. And that becomes part of the driving force, I think.
Yeah. It is for me. I mean, I've taught workshops in the past, on habits and mindset and goal setting and all that kind of stuff to women. That is my prime target, is women.
Sure.
And that was the most rewarding thing for me, to be able to share everything that I've learned and help them. And I still have them contact me today and say, oh, I remember you teaching me this, and I use this still today. And it's so rewarding for me to be able to know that I've influenced someone's life that much in a good way.
So let's say that I'm a woman of a certain age.
Yes.
And I decide that I want to get healthy.
Yes.
And I contact Stacy Duncan and I say, H3 sounds interesting. Where does it start? What happens then?
We do an initial consultation. So I come in. So I'm doing in-home is what I'm doing.
Okay.
So come in home. I have all the fitness equipment. I bring everything to your doorstep, so you don't have to worry about that. I know a lot of women are self-conscious about going to a gym, so that was one of the reasons that I thought it would be nice to do in-home. So I bring everything to your doorstep, and we sit down and we have a conversation about what your goals are, what your health goals are, whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish with your body and your mind and all of it. And then we'll do a physical assessment so that I know where you're at with your fitness level and how I can help implement.
See, I think that's brilliant because I'm a big gym person. I teach yoga and have for a long time. I'm in the fitness world. And I think that so many people have no idea where to start.
Right.
And I think that I don't know where to start keeps them from starting. And then I think the other, which is actually in my mind sometimes worse, people just throw themselves into something with no knowledge of what they're doing.
Yes.
And end up just trashing themselves.
Also, if you go all in, like most people like you're talking about, everyone makes the New Year's resolution. I'm going to go to the gym every day.
Yes.
Or I'm going to go to the gym 3-4 times a week for an hour. No, there's actually a statistic. I think it's like 81% of people quit the gym by February 1st.
Oh, gym memberships are based on you not coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
And people like me that are, I'm in the gym 4 times a week, and trust me, I have built up from where I was. I was not foolish enough to think I could do everything. But every January, I'm like, yes. I'll be glad when these 3 weeks get done so I'm not waiting for the machine to be able to do my stuff. Yeah. And I think there are injuries that happen from jumping in without knowing. I think people are intimidated. I have worked with a lot of clients through the years, and not firsthand, obviously, but I understand the weird stigma and judgment and everything that women have to face going to a facility.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it can either be, don't look at me, don't look at me, don't look. I mean, there's a lot that goes through your head. And I'm the same way. I don't want to go to a gym I work out at home.
Well, so you're convinced that everybody is looking at you, and they couldn't care less. Yeah. But that's what you get in your head.
Yeah, I don't want to go. I'm a one-on-one person, and I enjoy that. I want to teach you not only the exercises, but the correct form, so you're protecting yourself, but also your fitness levels so that you're not hurting yourself,
I have so many yoga people that feel frustrated because my advice is to back off.
Yes.
Of what they're doing. Let's not go that far into that triangle pose. Let's pull up here a little bit. Let's not step out so far in that warrior two. And they think that that's so counterintuitive, but proper form gets results. Improper form gets you messed up.
Hurts you, yeah.
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 And you may not feel it today, but we're talking about lifelong fitness here.
Yes.
And so that's the workout part. And the prepackaged, bring it to them, all of that, I could see where that's a giant draw.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't, nutrition is a struggle, especially busy women. Like when I was in my situation, I didn't have time to cook.
Right.
I didn't have, and I wasn't taking anything with me. I was just on the go all the time. So I would just grab whatever. That's how I ate. Mm-hmm. And so that was doing so much damage to my body. And
it's crazy. So I went to Peru for the big ayahuasca thing and all of that. And while we were down there, it was called the dieta because it's the diet. The ayahuasca is only a part of it. And so for a month before that, I went to absolute pure clean eating and detoxed a lot before I got there. And then while we were there, we basically lived on quinoa, brown rice, and vegetables. And it was meant to break you down. It is a restrictive diet.
I would love that diet.
to push you down.
Actually, I would.
I dropped 20 pounds.
Oh, I believe it.
Now, if somebody was said, Shane, you're fat, I'd been like, no, I'm not. I go to the gym. I do yoga. What do you mean? I'm in great shape. I dropped 20 pounds and felt better than I'd ever felt in my entire life. And then got back here, and I was like, nothing out of a box, nothing out of a window. Oh, hell no. I started meal prepping my lunches. Yes. I started doing all of that sort of stuff. Portion control. I am the king of chicken thighs and rice at this point.
Yep. I live on protein and veggies, pretty much.
Which is how we're actually designed to be.
Yeah.
I'll be curious about your philosophies because I have very strong opinions about it. You might be shocked to know I have opinions about things. I know, right? I hate the word diet.
Agree.
I hate all of these ridiculous plans. In my mind, it is ridiculously simple. Eat clean, unprocessed foods. If you eat more than you burn, you will gain. If you burn more than you eat, you'll lose. If you even it out, you'll maintain. And I think it's just that simple.
Agree. I do agree.
Like, of course there are variables. You have a glandular thing.
Learning how to do that.
Yes. And how to do that without making it miserable. When I said I'm the king of chicken thighs and rice,
yes,
I don't suffer from what I eat.
No.
I understand spices. I understand flavoring.
Yes. My mother is a genius at that kind of stuff. I mean, when I was a kid, I'll know, she would always call, Stacy, come in here and cook with me. And be like, no, I have no desire to cook. None, and she'd always try to get me in the kitchen. She's an amazing cook, and she is so good at spices, and now I cook like her. It's one of those things. James will go, what'd you put in there? I go, I don't know. I just kind of like grabbed some of this and that and threw it in there, and I didn't measure. I have no idea what's in there, but it's really
I'm sure
good.
you've seen some of my food porn
I have.
that I have posted. We have a running joke at my house. So this is honest to God share story. When Scott and I got together, and we've been together 24 years now, and we're gay, so that's like dog years. So that's like 150 some odd years. And I realized very early on, oh my God, he's a sports fanatic. There will be no interaction on Sundays. And I had a choice to get mad about that or figure out a way to participate. At that time, I discovered Alton Brown, if you know who that is.
Yes, I do.
And I started watching Alton Brown.
Yeah.
And there was a moment that he was doing a show on the mother sauces. And I was like, bechamel's just the gravy my mother cooked for breakfast without sausage. I have discovered the key to the kingdom.
Yes.
And so I took up cooking as my hobby, and I've taught myself to do all of that sort of stuff. And so I make fabulous meals while he's watching the stuff, and we get to interact and have a day together out of it.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And from that, I realized that even really delicious food can be healthy.
Oh, yeah.
And people have it in their head that it can't.
Yeah.
Which I think stops people as well.
Yeah. Well, my husband, love him to death, but he is not a health food person at all. To get him to eat a vegetable is like, I have to hide it.
Right, this guy,
what I mean?
like the 6-year-old kid.
Yeah, exactly. So I have to, do sauces and do things like that to make him
but the thing
it.
on that, and I don't want to get too stuck on this aspect of, but what people don't understand is that you don't have to have a cup of sauce. You have to have enough to flavor it. And
you just described my husband, basically. Yeah.
I will give credit.
Bury it so we don't see it.
Right, exactly. It's floating in there
Yes,
somewhere.
exactly.
It's, what happens at our house is Scott a lot of times will be like, "What's for supper?" I'm like, "I'm going to throw together something simple," and 2 hours later, I'll come out with a fully plated dish. Because I think there's a lot to the eating with your eyes, and I think that one of the things that helps people with nutrition, two things. First of all, eat to not be hungry, quit eating to be full.
Yes. Very good. I like that.
And allow yourself to let your eating be a full experience. When you're driving in the car eating a McGriddle on the way.
Or watching TV.
Or
looking at your phone.
Yes.
Or whatever, yes.
You're not seeing it, and you're not smelling it, and you're not taking in the textures. And there's so much more to eating than just the taste.
Yeah. It's called mindful eating. You probably knew that. But yes, that is something that people need to learn to do.
And so you help people with the workouts, and you help people to understand diet. And I would
not diet.
Right. Yes.
Nutrition.
And I catch myself using my own word that I don't like. And I would imagine there's a lot of custom tailoring that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's 100% whatever they need. It's their goals, their decision. I work with them on their specifics, what they want to achieve, And a lot of it is mindset, because when I was teaching workshops before to women, almost always when I'd say, what are your goals? Well, I need to be more fit. I need to eat better. I need to do this better. You know, that was something I'd say 95% of the women that I worked with would bring up that they needed help with. So again, that was like, oh, that's eye-opening to me. Like, that's needed. That's very needed.
And sadly, in my experience, a lot of people, when they say they want to be fit, what they're saying is they want to be skinny.
Skinny.
And that is not the same thing.
Not the same thing.
Not the same thing at all.
I did hear I want to lose weight too, but again, to me, the fitness is so important over the losing weight.
Right.
You will lose weight if you do these things.
You know, I hear,
that's secondary.
I hear people say a lot of times, well, I want to look better.
Yes.
And I try to tell people that nothing looks better than healthy.
I like that too.
Nothing
that
looks
true.
better than healthy.
That is very true. It affects your skin, everything.
Everything.
Like if you drink enough water and you eat right, your skin's going to be beautiful.
Yep.
All of it, yeah.
So that leaves us with the happy part. Tell me about all of that. What does that encompass? How do you help people to understand what happy feels like?
Well, I think people, especially women, have a lot of limiting beliefs. You know, I can't do that. I will never look that good. All these things go through their head. And so it's a matter of me just working with them to identify those things and then turn that around. Because I really believe that if you don't have a positive mindset going into the whole fitness nutrition thing, that you are not going to achieve your goals. And if you do, you'll probably slip backwards if you don't fix that part.
Or you could get to your ideal image and it not make you feel a bit different at all.
That is true. That is very true.
You know, it's one of those things. I have talked to so many people through the years that their goal, they don't understand what their goal actually is.
Yes. I do this thing called, and you may have heard of this, the 7 levels of why. Have you ever heard of that?
No, lay it on me.
Okay, so it's 7 levels. So when I ask you, Shane, why is it that you want to look better or lose weight or whatever that your goal is? Let's just say your goal is, I want to lose weight. I'll say, well, why do you want to lose weight?
And then I would say, because I want to look better.
And why do you want to look better?
Because I don't love myself. I don't like what I see.
And why don't you like what you see?
I love it.
And you do that 7 times.
Okay.
And you get to the bottom of what it truly is that they're really wanting.
So I have a visualization technique I do with my clients. It's the exact same thing, but different. You know the hallway of doors, but everybody talks about the doors being on the side. I talk about being a series of doors.
Oh.
Okay, let's get to that door. And that door would be, what is your goal? Okay, now that you've established that, open up that door. What's behind it? And we keep going through the doors until we get to the actual nugget in the middle that is the whole point.
I call that their core motivator.
Love it.
So when you're, in your situation and you have this whole mindset thing going on, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this. I want that cookie. I want whatever, have the cookie. But also remember what is really driving this.
Right.
Why are we really here? What are we doing here?
And have the cookie instead of the bag of cookies.
Yes, have a cookie.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with it.
I years ago when I decided that I was going to get into fitness, and again, since you know Mom, she loves to tease me. She was like, "You were so lazy your whole life. Where did this person come from?" I don't get it.
Yeah.
But it started out of self-loathing. I had a lot of body dysmorphia. I had a lot of image issues. Being a gay man, I assumed that I was judged no matter what.
Yeah.
Because I'd experienced that a lot in my life, and so I just extended it out into every area of my life and all of that. And so I decided I was going to get in the gym, and I was going to learn yoga and all of that because I just really couldn't stand myself, which is like the least yogic concept in the entire universe. But that's another story. And I didn't get anywhere. I was having no success. I was reaping no benefits whatsoever. And one day, you know how you will say something to somebody, like I have a client, and I'm saying to them, well, you need to love yourself as you are, love yourself through the process, then you're guaranteed to love yourself on the other side. And I was like, oh shit, that was for me. and I changed that. and started working out from a point of self-love instead of self-loathing, and I transformed my entire body, mind, attitude about life, everything.
You absolutely can't beat yourself up, because if you do that, it's not, like you just said, it's not going to get you anywhere.
No, it's not.
So positive mindset helps a lot, I believe.
How do you help people to establish the habit/lifestyle?
There's a whole process to learning how to create habits. It's harder to break a bad habit than it is to create a new habit.
Agreed.
So let's just create some new habits, and hopefully those bad habits will go away, right?
Because the minute you're addressing the bad habit, you're pouring energy into the negative.
Yeah.
You're allowing that to become the focus.
So you bring up energy. I could talk all day about energy.
Go. That's what this is a shaman podcast. Lay it on me.
So I have to tell you a couple of things. So I've been to your workshop about manifestation, but I've studied that. Like when I started this whole happy thing for myself, I started listening to lots of podcasts and stuff about manifesting and how you do this and how do you create yourself a happy life and how do you get out of your head, basically, because I was miserable, like you're talking about.
Sure.
I was miserable. So I manifested. Well, let's just say I manifested this book. Okay, this was like the start. You want to talk about the very beginning of where this all started for me. After my meltdown, we actually had a trip planned to go to Mexico. And so I had been working on a design job at the time. And so I had gone to the thrift store to pick up a bunch of books just based on the color of the cover that I was going to use for staging in this person's home. So I had bought this book and I had done the project, and I was getting ready to take what I had left and take it back to the thrift store because I didn't need it. Well, I just happened to look at the book and the title, and it was called Better Than Before by Gretchen Rubin. And I was like, this sounds interesting. So I opened it up, read a few pages, and being a psychology major, it's all about mindset and all this stuff. And I thought, oh, this is so interesting. I think I'll take this book with me to Mexico. Again, I don't read that often.
Sure.
So I took this book with me. I swear to you that it was like, it was given to me by the universe. Like, here's your book. You need to read this. And I took it and I read the entire book while we were on vacation. And it was the very start of me like, oh my gosh, this is eye-opening for me. It talked about the foundation habits. It talked about nutrition and fitness and the mindset and all the stuff that you needed to do to get healthy and feel good. And all. It was like a whole new world to me.
It's that glass of water after being in the desert moment.
Yes, that book was just like, and I had no intention of buying that book to
You bought it for the color of
I
the...
bought it for the color of the book. That's the only reason I bought it. But that book is still on my shelf, and I love it's dog-eared and everything because I go back and read parts of it. I love that book, and it's what started the whole thing.
I love that.
Isn't that crazy?
I love that.
Yeah.
You mentioned the manifestation workshop. I've adapted it, and I've got one coming up, couple weekends, on energy, frequency, and vibration.
I saw that.
To get people to understand the distinction of those words.
Yes.
Those are not the same thing. And talking about which channel you're tuned into to bring through that specific frequency, because there's only one energy. Mm-hmm. It's the way that we channel it. It's the filter that we put it through.
And I can tell when I'm on and when I'm off. Mm-hmm. I can totally tell. Like this morning, I sat down and journaled, and I'm like, I need to journal because I'm going to see Shane this afternoon, and I need to be sure my mind is right. But that was one thing I picked up going through my whole transition.
I had never journaled until Peru.
Really?
Had never journaled in my whole life. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do this for this project. I journal daily now.
Yeah,
I have since then. It is amazing. One of my favorite things, just to give people who've never journaled, give it a try. The first ceremony was a bunch of stuff that I'm not going to go into. We'd be here all day. But I walked out of the journey, and my honest thought was, what the fuck was that? Like, this is supposed to be leading me to enlightenment. What the actual fuck was that? And so the next day I'm journaling, and I'm seeing myself writing the answer to the question. And in my way, I was like, oh, that's what the fuck. Okay. And it was really just being able to talk to myself in an external way. And I don't think people realize that. I think that even a lot of people that journal, I don't think are using it as the communication. They're not using it as the conversation with the self. They're documenting.
I would agree with that.
And I don't care about documenting. You know, I want to hear what I'm trying to say to myself. I want to hear what the universe is trying to say that I'm not getting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I was teaching that course, actually the course I developed called Planned Happiness is what it was called. But part of that was journaling and teaching them how to journal. And yes, some ladies would just do the documentation and did not get anything out of it because we'd all come together as a group and talk about it. And the ones that just documented did not get anything out of it. But the ones that were like future focused or really focused on being grateful and having, you know, all of those kinds of emotions and feelings and, you know, putting that down on paper and getting out all the stuff, you know,
right.
whether it be good or bad, that was life-changing.
That is life-changing. I don't know if I've ever shared with you, and even if I have, I want to share with all of our listeners. We're all familiar with like the standard journaling that we're talking about, the communication with the self.
Yeah.
We're all familiar with gratitude journals.
Yes.
Which I think if done properly have a value. I think a lot of people turn them into a wish list. You know, if I'm thankful for it, I'll get it.
True.
I was like, that's not gratitude, that's greed.
Yes.
But the one that I developed that I have seen help so many clients is an accomplishment journal.
Oh, yes.
I want you to write down 3 to 5 things every day that you accomplished. And if the first page is, I wrote in the journal because that's what I'm supposed to do, that's an accomplishment. And then when you get to, you're feeling worthless, you feel like you're not doing anything, you actually have the documentation of, no, I did this, and I did this, and I did this, and oh, and I stopped doing that. Why did I stop doing that? And I think that annotating our accomplishments is a very powerful thing.
I absolutely agree with that. My first journal, full journal, was probably back in 2017. And I still have it. And I did that the other day. I found it and I went back and looked through it and I was like, wow, because I date all the pages, you know.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I read through it
yes.
and I was like, the transformation just in myself is so amazing from that time period to this time period. And that's why I want to share this with people.
Yeah.
It's in my heart.
Well,
It's
and validation's a powerful thing, and I am so sick and tired of our culture saying, oh, you're being full of yourself, you're bragging. No, own that shit. I mean, you put in the work, you've done the thing. There's nothing wrong with saying it.
Heck yeah. I agree.
Like, nothing wrong with saying it.
I agree.
We had cat yoga here
Oh, funny.
a couple weekends ago. Well, I was working with Watching Over Whiskers to adopt out
Oh, sweet.
stray cats. We always have a karma yoga practice of some kind going on. And it's the second one we did, and at the end of it, I said I had 30 people and 14 cats in that room.
Wow.
And at the end of it, I said, here's my challenge to all of you. When you leave here today, I want you to call 3 people and tell them what you did. I want you to call them and tell them you did a good thing. I want you to call them and tell them how you did a good thing and why you did a good thing, and actually plant that seed of it feels good to do good, and that you're not bragging. It's okay. Own it. Put it out there. And you could see people visibly uncomfortable with that idea.
Oh, yeah, I can believe that. Yeah. It's not a natural thing for a lot of people, I don't think.
No, and it draws a lot of fire.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people are very judgy. So, my random weird questions. What do you think?
I can't wait.
I love this. I just came up with this in my head, and I'm like, this is so cool. What would you say the biggest carryover is that you learned being a realtor that you're applying in what you're doing now? Because those sound like ridiculously different worlds.
They're not.
No, and I'm going to answer the question that I asked you, and then I want to hear your version.
Okay.
A good realtor, because we know that there are different types.
Yes.
A good realtor is very focused on finding the perfect property for the person that fits the needs. that fits their desires, their needs, that is functional, that is within doability for them. And so I could see where those qualities of custom tailoring, finding exactly what the fit is for the client, would transfer over perfectly to what you do as an example.
Yes.
Those things would have to tie directly in.
Here's the thing. When I first started in real estate, right, going in blind, no idea what I was getting into. My broker at the time, she said, Stacy, I want you to share with the class what it is that you have done in the past. And I was like, she goes, the thing that's going to really help you be successful as a realtor. And I was like, you mean my design stuff? Because I'd done staging in the past, and I was like, my design stuff? She's like, no. And I was like, my counseling stuff? She's like, absolutely.
You think?
She said, that will take you so far in this business.
Understanding people.
Listening, learning what they want, paying attention to them, walking through property and picking up on what they're saying that they don't even realize they're saying and what they need, which they don't even realize they need or want.
Reading the body language,
yes,
all that.
Yes. And so that, my counseling background, every single job I've done, including this H3, that will be key.
Absolutely. That makes
Listening
perfect
to people,
sense.
understanding people. Again, going back to not only just the fitness stuff, but the mindset stuff and knowing how to address that.
Well, on the true business end of realty, at the end of the day, it's closing the deal.
Yes.
That's what we want to do.
Yeah.
And I'm not a salesman, but I've worked with people and I sell myself. We're all prostitutes.
Right.
We are all prostitutes.
If you are self-employed,
yes.
you are.
Yes, you are. Thank you for that realization. But I know that the way to close the deal is removing objections. And so when you have somebody that's trying to find fitness, I would think a lot of what you do is remove objections. You find the workarounds for what they have in their head that blocks them from pulling the trigger or doing the thing.
Yeah.
Self-motivating.
Yeah.
And so I can see a lot of tie-ins, crossovers, and all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah. I do think it'll be a very interesting journey, because I don't think, no two people are going to be the same. It's just like real estate, in that regard. It's going to be different every day, which I love, because not everybody's going to have the same. There's
a great line by BKS Iyengar, major yoga teacher from the past. And he would say, there are as many yogas as there are people. Meaning that you and I could do the exact same yoga sequence, and they're going to be different. Because we have different bodies, and we have different limitations, and we have different natural proclivities, and we have different understandings while we're in it, and our life circumstances are, everything there follows you onto the mat. Hopefully what you do on the mat follows you into your life, all of that sort of stuff. And so I think there's just a real benefit to people like us that are self-employed that so many people don't get. If you're a factory worker, nothing against factory workers, please don't misunderstand me. The monotony and the constant, my brain doesn't work well with that.
I would not either.
I need the new challenge. I need the new riddle to solve. I need the new knot to untangle. I need something.
I am the same. You've always said when we have readings, you're like, we have so many things in common.
We do have so many things in common. And what I love about that is vast differences.
Yes.
But not in anything that matters.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so how do you feel that you've come into balance in the pursuit of financial security and creating room for this other thing that is so satisfying and fulfilling in other areas? Do you feel like you've really found a balance that's going right now?
No. That's always going to be a challenge. You know me, Shay. You know well enough to know the answer to that.
The honesty part, but what I loved was just the no. No, silly boy, why did you ask?
Yes, it will come. I have no doubt it will come.
Isn't it the cereal milk thing?
Yeah.
It's like you never get it balanced out.
Being being an entrepreneur is not for the faint of heart.
No, it's not.
It really is not.
No, it's not. So you're familiar with Sage Studio.
Yes.
We're right. You've been here for a
Yeah.
lot of different things. You've
Love
seen it. It's a fairly expansive place.
It is.
Doing stuff that doesn't necessarily fit Springfield, Missouri.
Yep.
And the minute I got it all together, the minute we were operational and everything was going and all of that, I walked in that day and I walked around and I was like, this is awesome. What do I want to do next?
I was talking to my husband about this because he's like, he is so supportive. Love the man to death. He is so supportive of anything I want to do. You know, and I tell him, hey, honey, I think now I want to go back to school and learn about fitness and nutrition and all that. He goes, well, do you love it? I said, I do. And I think I will really love it and share with people and all that. Go for it, honey. Go for it. But, you know, it's like I get bored. I want to learn something new. I love to learn and I love to teach. Mm-hmm. So,
you know, I think that loving to teach, I appreciate you saying that. I feel the same way. I think some people just are teachers.
Yes. And I never thought I was.
I can't help myself.
I never thought I was. I've had people my whole life tell me that I would be a good teacher. And I'm like, I don't want to be a teacher. Because in my mind,
we get locked into, you know, third grade English.
And I'm like, no, I could never do that job.
Right.
I would hate it. Been a substitute teacher too.
Of course.
Of course.
What a shock.
Hated that. Hated it. So in my mind, when people say you're a teacher, you could be a good teacher, I'm like, no way. But truly, like what you do, what I do, we are teachers.
We are teachers.
Even in real estate, I'm a teacher.
Oh, see, that's what I was going to say. People are like, well, yeah, you teach yoga, so you see yourself as... No, in my shamanic sessions, in the counseling work I do, in the soul retrieval work I do, in all of that, I am teaching people a different approach to life, which is what your whole H3 is about.
Yes, agree. Mm-hmm. I want to say that you were one of the... I had never done yoga. I had never, ever done yoga. Always interesting to me, but I was like, and this is back when I was first starting to like do something as far as work out, do fitness of some sort. I thought yoga might be a good start because it's not like hardcore. In my mind, it wasn't hardcore. Well, now, then I came to Shane's class. I did not know that Shane was a very difficult yoga. Love your yoga classes, but I had no clue.
Mm-hmm. Oh, do you know how many times I hear people when I say I teach yoga, they're like, oh, that must be so zen and relaxing. I'm like, afterwards.
Yeah. But I didn't know the difference because
Right.
I'd not been to a different yoga class.
Right.
But I'll never forget, it was a Saturday morning class, and you weren't teaching it. It was some other girl at the time. And I couldn't even do down dog. I was struggling with doing and holding down dog. Mm-hmm. And it was her and one other girl that was in the class with me. And they were both trying to explain it and show me how to do it. And it was just, I was not getting it at all. But finally I did get it, and I was holding it, and my arms were shaking. And I'm like, this is hard. And she goes, honey, this is not hard. This is one of Shane's resting poses. So if you think this is hard, you're in trouble. And I was like, oh my goodness, what have I gotten myself into?
I'm sure you've seen that I've renamed some of my classes now as warrior classes.
Yes.
Because I'm like, we may as well just cut to the chase here. This is what it's all about. You know, I have people all the time be like, oh, this is hard. And you know my mouth and you know my attitude. My standard reply is, well, yes, sitting on the couch getting fat's easy.
Oh, no. True.
It is, though.
It is true.
You know, and I also am not a body shamer. You know, we have a plus-size yoga teacher on staff here.
Do you?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, our Monday yin class. And I got to give credit where credit's due. Plus-size yoga teacher that has recently lost 50 pounds.
Good for her.
Let's be real.
Good.
Yes.
Awesome.
I'm surrounded by success stories right now. My husband, I mean, I can see him, so I was aware, but he actually gave me numbers to it. In the past 6 months, he's lost 45 pounds.
Really?
He's now at 205 and feeling really good about himself.
That's good.
Which I think is awesome.
Yes. Keep going. Keep going.
Yes,
Keep going.
yes.
Whatever you're doing, keep doing it.
Yeah. Well, and you know, it was great because Well, I have another story I'll share with you, and it's so wonderful. This was shortly after COVID, and I had avoided going over to Mom's house during active COVID for a little while. And so I hadn't seen her in a couple weeks or maybe even a month, and I went over there and I go, "You look great. What did you do?" And she said, "Well, I've lost about 30 pounds." And I said, "Okay, what did you do, though? How did you make that happen?" You know, Mom, so I want you to picture my sweet, sweet mother's voice saying this. She goes, "Well, I got out of the shower one day, and I weighed myself, and I gained a pound. And I sat down on the edge of my bed, and I said, 'Now, Jean, are you really that stupid?' And I decided I wasn't." That was her answer.
That was it.
That was her answer. And I was like, "Needs more?" And she goes, "Well, I know the difference between broccoli and chocolate cake. I'm not stupid."
I love it.
Isn't that like the best thing you've ever heard?
So good.
I was like, and there it is. And there it is.
Pretty simple.
Yes. So tell me, we've talked business and stuff, and I am so thrilled that you're here and allowing this platform to help put the word out, because what you're doing is very needed. It serves a true purpose. It's, even if it is a business model, I think that you and I have the understanding that there's nothing wrong with making money helping people unless that's the only reason you're doing it.
Yeah, and that's definitely not the only reason.
I teach yoga because I see it transform people. I will tell you, you were talking about the down dog. So you know what a dolphin push-up is? Like a forearm. You're in down dog on your forearms, and you come down and you push yourself back.
Yes.
When I first started my yoga journey, I could do one. When I don't go to the gym, my shoulder workout now, so keep in mind, I was 43 when I started. I am now 58. I start with 54 of them, and then I do 4 more sets of 27.
That's awesome.
And it feels amazing. There's a sense of accomplishment, and I think that's something else that people are missing, or I wish that I could just like hand it to them in a box somehow, the understanding. We measure our accomplishments by bank accounts and numbers and how big our house is and all of that sort of stuff. And when you actually transform not just your body, but your approach to life.
Huge.
Oh my God. There's nothing that feels like that. Nothing. You can have all the money in the world, and it won't give you that feeling. And I'm not taking away from success in other areas. I'm all about it. Be successful in all areas. But you'll begin to find that your fitness affects your mental acuity on your job, the stamina to deal with things, the stress that come in don't throw you off so much. This machine is meant to be used.
Yeah, the stress thing is huge, because I said earlier somewhere along the line, I said I can tell when I'm on and when I'm off, because when I set myself up for my day the way I know I should, things roll off my back so much easier than if I don't do the things that I know I need to be doing to set myself up for a good day.
I have, the title will not shock you at all, but I have what I call my badass list.
Love it.
These are the things I get up, and if I do this, I can say I am a badass. And it's just the base. Drink some water for the love of God. Take some actual breaths.
Breathe, stretch.
Yes, get on your yoga mat and
meditate.
And what will shock you is my morning routine that I do is the lightest yoga in the world. It's not my high flying, hit it hard.
Yeah.
It is just I am waking up and I am, I landed in this body. Let me get in it right. and just getting in touch with myself. And if I do that, my whole day is different. If I don't do that, my whole day is different in a different way.
That's what I'm saying. You're either on or you're
off. On or you're off. And you control that.
Yes, you do. 100%. It's not everyone else.
Right. It's not everyone else. It's not everything else.
I don't like that when people say, well, so-and-so did this to me. Well, you have a choice.
Right.
How you react to that.
Yep. See, you said the word. I'm real preachy on this one. I'm real preachy on this. The difference between reaction and response.
Yes. Huge.
If you react, whatever you're reacting to is in control of you. If you respond, that means you are choosing your response to the situation.
Don't give away your control.
That's it. I tell clients, who's holding the remote control of your life? Are you giving other people the power to change your channel, to mute you, to turn your volume up or down? You should be the only one with the fingers on the remote control of your own self.
Agree. I've never used that metaphor, but yes. I tell women all that. Who's in control?
Right.
Who is in control?
Right.
You or them?
Mm-hmm.
They're not running your life. You are.
Right.
Yeah.
So tell me, I know that what we're talking about brings you great joy. And you can see it on you. That's the best part. It's not just words. You can feel the passion. You can hear it. You can obviously see the benefit. Look at you, for God's sake.
Oh, thank you.
What does Stacy Duncan do just for fun?
Recently, my husband and I have taken up puzzles. Does that sound like the oldest person thing ever?
I love it. No, I love that. So are you talking jigsaw puzzles?
Yes. Yes,
Oh.
we sit in the dining room. I got him for Christmas one of those big black rubber mats, that are made for puzzles and that you can roll it up and hide it when you don't want it out. Mm-hmm. And we sit and do puzzles together.
I freaking love that. So you're saying, doesn't this sound old-fashioned or whatever? You mean you actually spend quality time with someone that you love where conversation can happen instead of staring at a damn screen?
We do, and that's exactly why we started it. Because we're like, we don't have any hobbies. So he works a highly stressful job.
Sure.
The man works, 60.
And great guy. I met your husband.
Yeah.
Super guy.
Yeah, he is. But he's a hard worker. Works 60, 70 hours a week sometimes. And he is a stress monster. So we were sitting there one day and I'm like, what can we do together? What can we do to help you relax and have some fun? And what can we do that's not too strenuous, that we have to figure it out? So I got him that for Christmas.
I love metaphor. I live in a world of analogies and metaphor. So you found a way to get the pieces to fit together?
Oh, I love that. Yes, we did.
Brilliant.
We did. And we love it. We do it all the time. And we've done probably since Christmas, probably 6 or 7 puzzles.
So I got to tell you, when I was a teenager, my best friend in high school, his name was Grifford. Oh. I'd never heard that name before. His mother, Dolores, awesome lady. We would get together at his mom's house, his house, his mom's house, and we did puzzles because she was a big believer in puzzles. Now, this woman's brain worked different than anybody else's because we'd spend a week putting a puzzle together. She would come in, take it all apart, mix it up, turn all the pieces upside down, and put it together in an evening to where it was just a blank piece of cardboard when she was done.
What? Oh my goodness. I thought I was good at shape and color, but that's crazy.
No, I was like, you're an alien. There's something weird about you, lady.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing to watch her, though.
I do get on my husband, though, because he's like, he's a super smart guy, and he'll get 3/4 of it done, and I'm over here in my little corner. I'm like, could you slow down so that I can do some of this with you?
You're making me look bad here. This is a together thing, remember?
I'm like, slow down. I want my turn. But,
So why did your marriage end? He wouldn't let me do part of the puzzle.
No.
Now,
The puzzle's supposed to save our marriage, Jay.
I absolutely love that, and I wish more people would open up to things like that. I don't even know right now, but what's a puzzle cost? $20, $30?
Not even $17.
Okay, so for less than $20.
Yeah.
In a world where people say you can't do anything without spending a lot of money, you're literally spending hours of time with somebody that you enjoy, and I can only imagine that it allows conversations to come up that otherwise would not exist.
Yeah. Because, there's no distractions. It's not like watching TV or, we are focused, but we're sitting right across from each other.
And there's no deadline either.
No.
You can go at that leisurely pace.
The other thing that I love to do is walk.
Really?
I love to walk. And I love to walk around my neighborhood. And I love to walk my dog.
Well, you put a dog in there, and you've got me already, because I've seen that. Yes,
My
I've seen your
sweet
dog.
baby.
Oh my God, that picture you put up
She's
recently.
going to be 16 this month.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So I've got the 3.
Yes. Big dogs.
All 3 of them got a bath last night.
Oh, that was a chore.
Oh, let me tell you. But they're blowing their coat. I mean, we brushed them, and there was a 4th dog in the floor.
I can imagine that.
It's crazy. But so you're a fitness guru at this point. Do you enjoy walking because of that, or what do you get out of walking?
Walking is an escape for me. Walking is a time to breathe. Walking is a time to be quiet. Walking.
So you're having moving meditation.
Oh, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I love to meditate, but that is a form of meditation.
Absolutely.
For me. It is very relaxing.
People don't get the idea that when you're stuck too much in your head, the answer is get in your body.
Yeah. Outside to me, the sunshine and the air, the nature, the birds, all of that is just so fills me up. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just so wonderful.
That's beautiful. Well, and again, that's what we're designed for. We've all forgotten that we're a part of nature. We're supposed to experience that sunshine
And breathe
and
fresh
fresh
air.
air. Yes.
I know. How often do we not breathe fresh air?
How often do we breathe? People.
Oh, true.
People hold their breath all the time.
True. That is true.
I think 2 things that are wrong with our society in general is that we hold our breath and we let our guts hang out. And I think we should actually firm up the belly a little bit and take some deep breaths, and it'd change a whole lot of stuff.
I think we'd all be much better off.
Yeah. Well,
Much happier.
If you give yourself proper nutrition, if you give yourself mental hygiene, if you give yourself downtime, if you give yourself love, you begin to flourish in all areas in a way that you just can't understand until you do that.
It is true. I did a presentation one time, and it was all about it was a business conference, okay, and so everybody that was speaking about businessy stuff, right?
Yes.
And so here I come along, and I'm like, I'm on my happiness journey. I'm going to come and talk about being happy, and how do you do that? And I started my talk, and I started talking about, we need to get more sleep, and we need to eat better, and we need to, walk around the block, and we need to journal, and we do all these things, and everyone's just like, their eyes just like glaze over.
Because everybody else is saying, we need to grind harder.
Yes, and they're like, what? And I said, wait, I know what you're thinking. What the heck does this have to do with my business? And I said, honestly, these are the things. These are your foundation. If you do all of these things, it is actually proven that you will be much more successful in your career than if you don't do those things.
Absolutely. You mentioned, we were talking about meditation just a minute ago. First of all, meditation is grossly misunderstood.
It is.
Grossly. I have people all the time, it's like, meditation just frustrates me. I can't do it. And I'm like, tell me what you think.
And it's weird.
Yeah. Tell me what you think meditation is. And they're like, well, trying to get your mind to shut off. I'm like, well, that's one of the 2 ways they pronounce you dead. So that's not the goal. Bring yourself into a singular focus is a lot more the goal. Trying to get the computer to shut off is not what we're doing. But it is so documented that you can do the research yourself. A Google search will show you the top performers in the world, athletes, actresses,
Yes.
politicians, the most active, successful, prominent people in the world have a meditation practice of some sort.
And everyone has a morning routine.
Yes,
like
they
we
do.
were talking about
Yep.
earlier. Because like you, I've looked into all that. I'm like, the book about highly successful people. What are their habits? What do they do? Da-da-da. And it's always a morning routine.
Yep.
Usually includes meditation, sometimes journaling, all those things that we're talking about. And it is true. It's proven time and time again.
And I think validating yourself along the way is giant. I think that
Celebrate your successes.
I love that phrase. I love you saying that. And I think that one of the key things when we're talking fitness, if we want to put it in that zone, learning to reward yourself outside of food. Now, again, I'm a big believer. If you want the cookie, have the cookie. We said that earlier. But so many people I see will trip themselves up because all of the reward and all of the social that they know in life is food-based.
That is true.
Let's go out to eat.
Oh, it's huge, especially here.
Yeah.
Huge.
And
I was shocked. So when I moved here from California years ago, 30-some years ago now, I was shocked at the number of restaurants in Springfield, Missouri. I couldn't believe it. I was just like, wow.
It is mind-blowing. Scott and I have a running joke. We live in the Republic, and there's a Flat Creek.
And it is growing like crazy.
Oh, Republic. Yeah, realtor's wet dream out there.
Yeah.
But they have Flat Creek Restaurant, which, whatever. It's okay. I'll leave it at that. But we laugh so much because they have a pork tenderloin sandwich. The bun is this big, and the pork tenderloin, it looks like it's wearing a frickin' hat.
Oh, gosh.
And I'm like, first of all, I couldn't physically hold that much breading. And why do you need that? Why do we need these portion sizes?
I agree.
Since when did we start serving sodas in 5-gallon buckets?
It is so hard, speaking of nutrition and eating out. That is one of the biggest challenges, I think.
Oh, yeah.
When you're trying to eat well.
Yeah.
I can go into a restaurant and say, I want the chicken and I want the vegetable. But then it comes with like sauces and salt and the veggies are cooked in butter and lard or whatever.
Yes.
And I'm like, can you just like give me a steamed veggie and a chicken breast
Right.
without all the extra stuff?
Right.
It is so hard to eat out sometimes.
It's very hard to eat out. And I swear to you that processed food is death in a box.
It's evil.
Get to where you shop around the outside of the grocery store
Yes.
only. Don't go in the middle.
That is one thing I'm going to teach people. So I have my 2 packages, right? My 2 fitness packages that include nutrition coaching. However, I'm also doing what I call a la carte services. And one of the things I'm going to be doing is teaching people how to grocery shop.
Oh.
Teaching people how to make a grocery list.
Hell yes.
Yeah.
All
I
day
don't-
long.
I don't think people have a clue.
No.
I'll tell you a story. So I was in the grocery store. It's been probably 2-3 months ago now. This little lady, she was so sweet. I was in the produce section. And my cart's full of produce. You know, that's that's how I shop. And she comes up to me and she goes, "Honey," she goes, "you look like you eat really healthy." She said, "I just got back from my doctor, and he told me that I have high cholesterol, I have high blood pressure, and that I need to eat better." She goes, "But I don't know what to buy." I felt so sorry for her. She goes, "Can you help me?" And so I did. She was probably, I'm guessing, early 70s, late 60s, early 70s.
Sure.
So I walked around the store with her for a while and was showing her, okay, buy this, don't buy this, read the labels, this is how you read it, don't do this, don't do that. And then we got over to the frozen veggie section, and she was like, "Well, I don't like that, and I don't like this, and I don't like that." But anyway, so we had this full-blown conversation in the grocery store and walked around and helped her, and she was like, "Thank you so much," because I had no idea what to do. It was so sweet.
That is awesome. You mentioned being at a yoga class years ago, and I think I know the teacher was there. It was probably Grace. Grace went on and formed what she called the Nude Foodie, which was about raw foods and naturally formed foods and health and all that. And one of 2 things I'll share very quickly. The cool thing that she did was she would say, "Let's trade one thing a week. Don't go throw everything away in your kitchen.
Yep.
Decide one thing you're going to eliminate, but one thing you're going to replace it with." Mm-hmm. And she would do that. And then the other one, just because I think you'll find this fascinating, this is a little outside of nutrition, but goes to the overall feeling, wellness thing. she would counsel people, coach people to eat in opposition to what was ailing them. And what she would mean by that is, if you're feeling very heavy and sluggish, then eat things that grow on the trees. Eat things that reach upward for their growth. Eat the things that are light that are there. If you're feeling spacey and scattered, eat a root vegetable that came from the earth itself so that it's grounding. If you're needing to expand, eat something that leafs out and expands itself greatly.
Awesome.
If you're needing to come in, eat a shellfish or something that's in its little shell that's there or whatever. I think that's brilliant.
That's eating energetically.
It's eating energetically,
That's
yes.
awesome.
I think that's one of the coolest things I've ever heard about food.
I agree. That is really awesome.
And it gives people a mental construct to begin to work around with it. Mm-hmm. So what's next for Stacy? I mean, since you're such a slacker and not really doing anything with your life, I mean, one of these days I wish you'd show up.
Keep moving forward.
Keep moving forward.
On my fitness journey as well. I'm not perfect. And that's, none of us are. I fall backwards. I have the same things as everyone else does. And I think people need to know that. Just because I am teaching you things doesn't mean I'm perfect.
My students love when they see me fall out of a tree pose.
Yeah.
Not because they want me to fall, because it makes it
feel better.
Natural.
Yeah. I agree with that.
And I'm sorry, but I don't want anybody to try to coach me that doesn't have any actual understanding.
I mean, I can say I've been in the trenches for sure, and pulled myself out of a really bad spot. So continue to grow H3 Fitness, and my website. If anyone's interested, I do have a blog on there, so I'm giving tips on nutrition and fitness and mindset and all the things I'm teaching.
And the website is
h3fitness.com.
We got to get you better at plugging.
Yes,
shameless self-promotion is the key to all things.
Yeah. And so besides that, I really do want to grow it. I mean, I do want to grow it to the point where I have other people.
I'm assuming from what you said, it's an in-person thing only. You don't offer an online component at this point. In person. And right now I'm focused on Springfield because I am bringing all my equipment to you, to your doorstep. Sure.
So, but yeah, I'm right now Springfield, but I would like to at some point get other fitness trainers on my side, on my team, so that I don't spread myself too thin, because I know I've done that in the past, Shane, and I don't want to do that again.
Having known you for a little while, what she's trying to say is global franchising and eventual world domination.
Yeah.
But that's a totally different thing.
So yes, I would love to grow it, and that be honestly my retirement plan.
There's nothing more satisfying than seeing that moment when someone gets it and realizes that they can change their life. When you have that moment and you see that light go on with somebody and they realize that things can be different, that's the shit right there. That's just, oh my God.
Yes, it fills me up. It makes me so happy. And that's why I'm doing this. I want to share it.
You have always been one of my favorite people. I love watching the journey. You are just a powerhouse and awesome, and also somehow manage to maintain some humble in there, which is crazy. It's not really.
You too, Shane.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I'm so humble. It's humble and demure are usually the words that are most often used to describe me.
Absolutely.
You have been awesome. Thank you for being on here. I appreciate it so much. We'll have to do it again sometime. I'm going to be watching your journey. And again, the website one more time.
h3fitness.com.
h3fitness.com. Check it out, people. You're going to be happy that you did. Join with me in thanking Stacy for being here. And if you would like to be a guest on My Shaman Says, the podcast, reach out to me through social medias. You can go to shaneknox.com and hit the email link there. I think people are interesting, and that means you're interesting too. And remember, I always say it, be kind to yourself and everyone else.